Alright, let's take a detailed look at the fleets for each of the 4 factions in the dynamic XenoThreat event in Star Citizen 318. The first faction is the Civilian Defense Force, which makes up the majority of the player base in this event. This is the largest faction and has the greatest diversity of ships, ranging from cargo haulers to fighters and bombers, all the way to salvagers. Every ship in this image I've seen at least once throughout my playtime this weekend in the PTU. Some ships are more popular than others, such as the Connie, Corsair, Vanguards, and Light Fighters. Of course, you won't see all these ships at the same time, but at any time of the event, select a subset of 5 to 10 ships from this pool with replacement. The CDF is allied with the UEE Navy and adversarial to the hostile players in XenoThreat. The second faction is the group of hostile players looking to fight other players. This faction is primarily composed of the 3 meta light fighters as well as the 2 2-seat heavy fighters. I've included the Redeemer in this group as I've seen 2 hostile Redeemers attacking players this weekend. This ship doesn't perform well when trying to duel light fighters at high speeds, but excels in the larger, slower paced fights like XenoThreat. Lots of large ships, debris, and asteroids naturally reduces the speed of the fight down to a bracket where the Redeemer performs very well. Typically, the hostile player faction is a group of players from an org or a small friend group, and rarely a lone wolf. From my experience, encountering hostile players is uncommon. However, if you play the event enough, you will eventually encounter them. The hostile players are adversarial to the CDF Players, the UEE Navy, and XenoThreat. The third faction is the UEE Navy, split into 2 groups, the XenoThreat Defense and the Criminal Player Defense. The XenoThreat Defense Fleet is seen during the second wave of the event in the gas cloud and asteroid field. This group includes the infamous Javelin Destroyer, 2 Retaliator bombers, and an assortment of Vanguard Wardens and Gladiuses. The Criminal Defense Fleet can be seen around Jericho Station at any point of the event. This fleet is not part of the event, but will show up to Jericho if criminal players are loitering around the station. The fourth faction is the XenoThreat Fleet, which can be primarily seen around the gas cloud and asteroid field, as well as Jericho Station and the Shallow Frontier Station at MIC L1. This fleet is partitioned into Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the event. During the first phase around the supply ships, the support ships in the Phase 1 ad cluster in the bottom left will repeatedly spawn 3 sets of 3 ships from this pool. Sometimes 3 arrows will spawn in a set, sometimes it will be 3 wardens. The number of ships at any point during this phase may vary, as NPC ships are constantly being shot down and spawning in. Periodically through the first phase, the Jericho Attack Group will spawn beside Jericho Station. This group contains 3 arrows, 3 Cutlass Blacks, 3 Valkyries, and an Idris. If the UEE Criminal Defense Fleet is present at Jericho, they will help the CDF players engage the XenoThreat. The second and final phase of the XenoThreat event is where most of the action happens. The XenoThreat Fleet in the first wave of the second phase is composed of an Idris, 2 Hammerheads, 2 Sabres, and 2 Gladiuses. At this point, the UEE Navy Defense Fleet will be engaging the XenoThreat Fleet in the gas cloud. Once the Idris in the first wave is defeated, the second wave will spawn in, containing exactly double the first ships seen in the first wave. Finally, I'd recommend any ships from the hostile player fleet for this event, as they have the agility and small cross-sections to avoid collisions with asteroids, debris, or other ships. Even with the Scorpius, you want to fold the wings in. All of these ships have plenty of firepower and DPS to hack through all the spongy NPC ships. They also have the capabilities to compete in a fight against a hostile player. They are the most versatile ships for this event. Check out my video on PvP with the updated Asperia Blade if you want to see more content on the XenoThreat event. Thanks for watching and have a good one.